So today's video is going to be what have I learned on YouTube and what have I also changed my mind on. So let's just get straight on into the video. So I'm going to be doing my makeup. Went to hunt for my moisturiser. Saturating moisturiser from Symbol. It's on a brush on the towel. Gonna use my primer. Which is my e.l.f. Power Grip Primer. So I've definitely learned a few things on YouTube. Like one of them being like drama videos do really well on YouTube. Like some of my good view videos are definitely like when I'm talking about like drama. Like drama kind of commentary videos, like people do like watching those. But literally, this just will not stop coming up. Lid. Like that. But I'm still going to use it because enjoy the product. Not going to do too much face makeup because my skin is not great at the moment. Like drama videos, like negative videos get views. Like people enjoy drama because it's one where even I'm quite nosy. Like drama videos get views because people are just curious about the drama. Like I wouldn't necessarily they're like negative videos, but people are more just curious. Like that's like why drama gets the views it gets. So I'm going to use some concealer. This is my Makeup Revolution L'Oreal Filter Finishing Concealer in shade 3. It's called C3. I'm going to use a brush because I find a brush so much better than a sponge. It blends out so much easier, so much faster. Like this is very quick drying, so I wouldn't say this is like my favourite concealer, but it's definitely not a bad concealer. I just don't think I'd put this in my yearly favourites, but I did talk about it in my favourites so far as like the concealer I'm using, and I just caught a spot there. Another thing is like the new with makeup gets views. Gonna use the Powder Puff today because this doesn't get too much. Like this powder's really not the right colour for me, but look, you can see how dirty this Powder Puff is. But I just find it sets my makeup pretty well. It's probably made it into like 2 favourites, this powder. Which my best and worst makeup so far has gone up. Gonna use, like it's one where people are curious even if they don't want to buy the new makeup, what people think of it. Like it's one where with older makeup it's like people have already made up their mind on it, so they don't. Like the only time you'd watch a tutorial on an older palette is if you own that palette. It's one where if you see a tutorial for an older palette, it's not going to be a new tutorial, it's going to be one from like 8-9 years ago. Because I'm like, no one's doing up-to-date tutorials on like an older palette, like a really old palette like the Naked palettes and palettes like that. gonna use my blush. I'm almost out of this blush. Gonna try this Glossier blush. When that one's run out, this is what it looks like. They're about the same kind of product. One just looks bigger. Like in both you get 10 mils of product, but I'm going to be using up my blush that I already have, which is my Maybelline Cheat Key in the shade 15 Nude Burn. I love this nudie pink blush. Quite difficult to like get it out the tube. Add a little bit more to this side. Very pretty colour. Put blush right the way down my nose for a change. Never put bronzer on my nose, but yeah, I seem to put blush and highlight all over my nose. I think this is quite channel specific, this one that I've learned, but I've learned like what videos on my channel tank and what videos are really successful. Like talking about stuff like this is a really successful video. Like get Chatty Tutorial Tuesdays where I'm talking about stuff, literally get views compared to when I'm just sort of doing a tutorial. Like that don't really get views. Sort of trying to incorporate topics. So there's something to talk about. Other than just the weather's nice. Just going over with a beauty sponge. I feel like I'm going to sneeze, so if I do apologise. I will probably cut it out. So if it stays in, I do apologise. Going to use my Revolution highlighter. Another thing I've definitely learned is like clickbait gets views. Like clickbait really used to really annoy me, but now I'm sort of like, it winds me up, but I'm like not as bothered by it because I just sort of am like, as long as you don't do it. Clickbait, and other people do it, it's their decision at the end of the day to do it. So as long as I don't go and do it. Just tapping this out a bit. So I'm going to put some e.l.f. Halo Glow on top. Put like a little bit on my nose, not too much, because otherwise it will look really orange. So I don't put it up there, because it looks really orange on me. But I do like the e.l.f. Halo Glow. Just gonna... Find a sponge over a brush works the best, but I do like to go back over it with a brush just to make sure that I like glowing. I always have the glow because I don't really get majorly oily. Yeah, I get it a bit around here, but my skin is mainly dry. I feel like a bit of highlighter's probably gone up my nose because I use so much. I'm gonna do my eyebrows. I'm gonna use a shade in this palette. Like I just use like a brown eyeshadow to do my eyebrows. And I use this brush. So I try and keep it as natural as possible. A little sparse at the end. I think that went well. That was like to go quite dark in the front, I suppose. One where people do clickbait, because I'm like, clickbait does get the views, like view wise, clickbait, and putting a red arrow on your thumbnail. I'm gonna do like a sunset look, so I'm gonna find a brush. I'm just gonna dip into the yellow. Really just go. Blending, we'll pop in the colour in. Another big thing I've learned is it's not the algorithm, it's you. Like, it's one where I'm like, with the videos tanking, that clearly was not entertaining enough. Gonna use one of my single shadows. Gonna probably use some of this gold. Just got eyelashes everywhere. Gonna draw. Gonna need to copy spray my face. That stung my lips. Really want to use this one up because room pollution. Let me go open the window for a minute. Because that is disgusting outside. In here. Sort of placing it. So I get like, then I'm probably going to add something neutral. Deepen. Yeah, that went where I didn't quite want it to go. I'm going to use the shade kind of browny orange on the outer part. This is called Candid. And then it's going to be I think I'm going to go into the Jeweled palette next. It's one where I'm like, if a video tanks, clearly no one's interested. in it. Like, I'm clearly not being that interesting. If a video tanked. Just try not to be any more that person that's like, please watch my videos, because clearly they're not entertaining. Like, YouTube's pushing them, but people just didn't click on them because they weren't that interested. Then I'm going to go into this shade, which is, and just put that all over this inner part of the lid. Sometimes changing the thumbnail and title works, but I usually find if something regularly just is not interesting, then it's not interesting. Like, I'm not going to constantly push out a video that's like not interesting, because as much as I do it because I enjoy it, I do like it when people do see find the brush I want. I'll be back.
A few moments later.
Couldn't find the brush I want, so I'm going to use the same brush and I'm going to dip into another one of the shades. Then I'm going to grab some eye primer. Gonna take a brush, grab some eyeliner, eye primer, dropped my lid of my setting spray. So I'm just popping on primer. Right. Gonna use this with Love Cosmetics. It's one where I definitely see, like, now that you don't have to be like a really big creator to like make money on YouTube. Like, I always sort of thought that's the really big creators. Not that I make money on YouTube, like, it is just a hobby. Just gonna pop this on. That fell out. But there are like small decorators that do YouTube as a job. Pleased with that. Now I'm just gonna take this brush into the jeweled palette. I'm gonna use the really bright yellow, orange. Gonna use the orange. Waterline, because I don't have an orange one. So next we're gonna do some mascara. I'm gonna use my waterproof because I need to use that one up. Lips, I'm gonna go for a glam lip. My collection Glam Crystals. So I'm about to use the Glam Crystals. So this is the final look, so I hope you've enjoyed this video. Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and I'll see you in another video. Bye.